On today's show, I'm talking about the 2017 Grammy Awards, the media's blatant attempt at erasing Janet Jackson's legacy, and where are our sexual attractions, aka types, rooted? This is The Outline.
The Outline. With Kevin Dwayne. The Outline. With Kevin Dwayne. This is The Outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne with Kevin Dwayne.
What's going on, you guys? It's The Outline with Kevin Dwayne. Congratulations, you have survived Valentine's Day. I didn't think you all would make it by the looks of my social media. I've never seen so many overhyped people in my life. It is just a day. It is just a day. And people look like they wanted to jump off of cliffs because they didn't have Valentine's. People were threatening to report happy couples pictures, and it's just too much. I have not been a fan of Valentine's Day in a relationship or out of it. I feel like it's just like Christmas, you know? It's a day to siphon money out of people who don't care otherwise. And if you're in love, you should be loving people every day. You should be self-loving yourself every day. You should just, it's just a day. In fact, I actually forgot it was Valentine's Day. I went on my normal run in the morning. I was reading a book that I've been checking out lately, and someone texted me Happy Love Day, and I said, wow, I forgot that was today. And it was kind of an awesome feeling to realize that I didn't allow a day to have power over me. But my goodness, I was really concerned about the mental health of some people because they were really pressed about the happiness of others. And I just don't think it's that deep. And I'm not trying to be condescending either, but it's not that deep. Go get you some candy. It's about 75% off today at every major store. Enjoy all of that, but make sure you go to the gym as well so you don't gain weight and be sad that you don't have a man. That's not good. You gotta, pick a battle. So enjoy your candy. But thank you guys for joining me for another week of the show. Let's start this off by celebrating the fact that the Golden Girls are now on Hulu, and Betty White is still collecting coins from royalties and now a streaming service. Golden Girls is a heralded show by many. People love it, especially us gay men. A lot of us. I don't want to generalize all gay men, but a lot of gay men love the Golden Girls because, the shade and the comebacks and the one-liners. It's a great show. So now all seasons are on Hulu for your watching pleasure. Is it just me, or when you watch the Golden Girls, when a theme song comes on, do you sing the newer version that the guy parodied? I can't think of his name. I think his name was not Simply. I'm thinking of the juice, Simply Orange. I'm thinking of I think it's Finally Aaron after Finally Karen, but his name is Aaron on YouTube. He remixed it like a gospel version of the Golden Girls. So now when I watch it, I sing his version of it every single time. In fact, the song sounds weird to me without his vocal on it. So I don't know if it's just me, but let me know if you guys are doing the same on Twitter, which is @TheWorldOfKevin. Furthermore, while you're on Twitter, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends. Make sure you're, listening to it on SoundCloud and iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play Music and all that good stuff. Do all that while you're letting me know on Twitter. Hit me on all the social networks, and there will be more to come on that too. I do want to expand the brand a little bit to make sure that I'm represented on every platform in the right way. So there will be a few changes coming up that I'll let you guys know about in the near future. But right now, do that at a minimum for me. Please, 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 please. And thank you. So let's jump into the Grammys. So the Grammys were on Sunday, and they were the Grammys. The Grammys, I feel like every year we get really, really hyped for them, and they end up being really, 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 really boring. Every year, every single year, we get the nominations and we're hyped, like, yeah, let's do this. Ooh, the Grammys gonna be popping. And then they end up being so fucking boring. Like, it's a snooze fest. And it's just, why do we keep showing up? Like, why do we keep doing this? I think we're so tricked by media to think like it's what we have to do. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like every year it's the same shit. We show up, we're either going to be happy or disappointed, most likely disappointed, but that's what we do every year. Same with the Oscars and the Golden Globes and everything else that follows. It's always the same kind of game every year, and it's like we never learn our lesson. So this year wasn't much different, in my opinion. It was still a very boring show, and I actually didn't watch the whole thing. I did start at the beginning. James Corden, he was the host this year, which was, at first, a welcoming departure from LL Cool J. I love LL, but I really just got tired of seeing him every year. I don't know. It was just something. It just didn't work for me. So it was nice to see a different name as host, but I soon regretted that as soon as he got on the stage because his opener was just trash. Like, I don't buy James Corden as a host. I don't buy him as a personality, to be honest with you. He's corny to me. He's very, very corny. He's a ball of appropriation. I hate the whole wanting to rap and the freestyling shit that he does. And he's just corny to me. I never bought it. I just don't get it. Even with the karaoke thing he does. I always love the carpool karaoke's because of the artist in the car. It's not because of him. I feel like he tries way too hard to be funny. And that was very much what happened on Sunday. So that was a no for me, dog. So y'all can bring LL Cool J back. That's fine. Or, find someone else who, will fit the demographic. I know there's a certain target audience you want to reach. So you're going to pick these very majority white approved people. So I get it. So, but, whatever. I don't know that I will even continue watching the Grammys because you guys put a lot of stunts this year. Something that stood out to me, among other things, Drake won a Grammy for a rap song collaboration by himself. No one else, I guess, cared enough to talk about this, but this is the first year that a solo artist has won a collaboration award by themselves. So a source of mine let me know that it's because the Grammys changed the rules, where if you rap and sing on your own damn song, you can get a Grammy for a collaboration, even though it's your bitch ass in the studio doing both parts. So, congrats Drake on, tricking the system, I guess, but that's weird as hell to me. That is so weird. He's the first person to do it. He is the first artist to win rap song collabo by himself. And I guess everyone was so frustrated by everything else that people didn't call it out, or I just didn't see people call it out. But I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I'm like, how did he win this award by himself? Like, I checked the credits. I'm like, was someone else on the song? It was for Hotline Bling, by the way. I'm like, was someone else on Hotline Bling and I didn't know about it? But what? How do you win a collaboration award by yourself? Like, was it his alter ego? What the? Yeah. So that happened. Beyonce, her performance was perfection, as usual. Mama was pregnant with twins. She got on a chair that moved backwards. But here's the thing. People don't realize that was like a direct interpretation of the video for Love Drought, if you saw Lemonade, which a lot of you did. So they just took that concept and expanded it. They made her Oshun. So they pretty much took the Hold Up interpretation, added it to Love Drought, and they made a whole Last Supper religious type thing with it. That was really, really dope. For her to be pregnant with twins, that was a beautiful performance. She sang live. The choreography was amazing. It was just beautiful. It looked like a Broadway production. Absolutely beautiful. Of course, you have the detractors who said it was boring and they were bored, but what are you talking about? Who else performs like that live with 2 babies in their belly, with choreography, with visuals, with all of that. Why do you guys dig so deep into the depths of your hateful souls to find rude shit to say about Beyonce just because it's Beyonce? Get out of here. Get out of here. Like, stop it. It's just not... Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, it wasn't boring at all. Like, it was beautiful, and it was a great nod to motherhood. So that was that. Beautiful. Blue Ivy was probably my favorite thing of the night, just because she's, 5 years old now, and I love seeing her grow. Like, she has so much personality. When she rolled up on James Corden doing that whack-ass karaoke moment, and just was like, I don't know this song, but I want to be in the camera. It was just, I loved her Prince-inspired outfit. She has so much personality, and it's so cute seeing her grow up and just see her be free. And also, she's showing Jay-Z as a father, like just seeing him embrace his daughter and how happy he is with her. And seeing Jay-Z as a grown-ass man, like, I remember Jay-Z when he first came out. He was, younger, talking about never getting married and never having kids and shit. And here he is married with kids, 2 on the way, and smiling all the time and just embracing fatherhood. And it's beautiful to see this aging Jay-Z do these things. So I love those moments that were shared. I love that Tina was there to introduce her daughter. It was a great moment. Another highlight was Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars, he's amazing. Bruno Mars is a great vocalist and a great performer. I really love his personality. He seems very authentic. He seems very down to earth. He seems very humble. I'm digging it. I'm digging all that he does. I mean, between him singing one of my favorite songs off his latest album, 24 Karat Magic, which was That's What I Like, and then doing that amazing Prince tribute, I'm here for it. Like, Bruno Mars is all right with me. I would love to see him on tour when he goes out this year. Like, I would love to see him. I think he's an amazing performer. So shout out to him. Another highlight, Solange and Chance the Rapper both won Grammys. Chance won 3 Grammys, I believe, and Solange won 1, which was the only one she was nominated for, which she should have been nominated for way more than that one, but she still won it for Cranes of the Year. And sorry, Cranes in the Sky. Why don't I say Cranes of the Year? Whatever, Cranes in the Sky. And I'm so happy, like she's my damn sister, because Solange had her own moment by herself, and it wasn't in the shadow of her sister, so it was a beautiful thing. And Chance, I just appreciate Chance's grind. I mean, he has no record label, and he is out here selling hella units, getting awards, and he's changing the game yet again. Now, I know Drake had a similar thing, but Drake still got a distribution deal, so it's a little different. But Chance is like fully on his own, and he's literally changing all of the metrics, and he's letting people know that as an independent artist, you can really do the damn thing in today's landscape. So I'm super happy for him. He's super fucking churchy. I knew he was from having the gospel songs on, or the choirs on his songs, but man, he had like several sermons on Grammy night, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. So his performance was touching, I'll say. But shout out to Chance and Solange. Super happy about that. Another highlight was Rihanna being Rihanna in the audience with her flask and wanting to take shots and rolling her eyes and just seeming unpressed per usual. I love Rihanna for her personality. Now, that Grape Juice, the shadiest Rihanna hate blog ever did shade the hell out of her, because she has become the most nominated with no wins artist. So she was nominated for, I think, 7 or 8. No, I think it was 7 awards. And she didn't win not one. The last time that happened was India.Arie back in like the early 2000s, when on that first album, when she was nominated for all those albums and didn't get 1 award. So I'm happy for India.Arie. She gets a break from the criticism, because that was hard for her for years. I mean, she had a breakdown because of it. So I'm happy for her. And now Rihanna holds the title for Well, Kanye West and some other people were nominated too, and they didn't get anything either. But the article is specifically about Rihanna, and I was like, damn, that's so messed up. You guys hate this girl so much that you literally watch for all the negative things that happen to her just so you can post about them. And they've literally made their entire site off of that. I don't care what anyone says. That grape juice only became popular because of their anti-Rihanna stance, period. There's just no way around it. It is trash, but it's also kind of funny that you would spend that much energy trashing a person for the sake of for the sake of monetizing your own blog. But I digress. It's not about them. Whatever. So let's pull up to the final dun 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 of the night. I did not see this. I didn't want to see it. I went to bed, but I knew it was going to happen. So album of the year went to Adele 25. I knew this was going to happen because it's Adele. And, well, hell, she's white. Let's just keep the shit fucking real. She's white. A lot of arguments about Beyonce were like, well, you know, Lemonade really wasn't that good an album, but the visuals were great. And, you know, that's what saved it. But here's the thing. No one impacts pop culture like Beyonce. Currently. No one. All of our sayings come from her. The way we dress comes from her. Like, you guys were saying several phrases from Lemonade throughout the last year. Come on, hot sauce in my bag, and ladies, let's get information. Boy, bye. Becky with the good hair. Even with the Beyonce era, it was surfboard. You know, flawless. Like, she impacts culture. I mean, the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt just released a trailer for their 3rd season, and that was Beyonce inspired. Beyonce literally transcends pop culture every time. So it's more than if you just thought the album was good. It's the fact that it literally took over the entire fucking year. And even Adele said that when she won. Now, I do enjoy Adele, and I enjoyed 25, but it was not 21 at fucking all. And I'm tired of people pretending like it was. It was not. Outside of Hello, 25 did not stay on anyone's like top list at all. It sold millions off of the fame of Adele, off of our love for 21. But it wasn't because of 25 just being this great ass album, because it wasn't. It was good. It was good. But I hate that people are pretending like that was on their top list. It wasn't on anyone's top list, really. People stopped talking about 25 last year completely. When Hello dropped, no one cared anymore. She went on tour, it was successful, but no one fucking cared about 25. But Lemonade was constantly being talked about, constantly used in skits on SNL and other things, constantly used. The Formation tour was huge. So to sit back and try to play this game of like, well, I mean, Lemonade wasn't that good. 25 was better. It's trash. And what I'm super tired of are black people who would rather uphold systematic racism and shit that these people do to our artists instead of defending Beyonce. Some of y'all hate Beyonce so goddamn much that you would rather uphold the politics of a racist ass committee. And the shit is sickening, it's tired. It reminds me a lot of Michael Jackson during his bad era. He was snubbed for every Grammy he was nominated that year. The Grammy committee was tired of him because he wasn't doing interviews and he wasn't campaigning the way they wanted him to, and they thought he was weird. That was the year he performed Man in the Mirror, and they snubbed him for all of the Grammys he was nominated for. It reminds me of that. And it's just like, you work so hard to put out this visual, this album. You work so hard to push it and do all this work, do all of this stuff that's phenomenal. And yet, let's just give it to this other white person just because it's there. And here's the thing. We're in the world where Taylor Swift has 2 Album of the Year Grammys. That's bullshit. 1989 was cute, but it wasn't To Pimp a Butterfly at all. And I don't even know what the first one was she won it for, but it's just like, y'all know it's bullshit. Y'all know it's bullshit, and yet y'all still would rather defend someone else instead of the person who really deserved it. Even in the Beyonce era, Beyonce was a fan favorite, even a stan favorite. There are people who don't even like fucking Beyonce who thought Beyonce Self-Titled was a great album. That didn't win Album of the Year. Beck did. Y'all defended Beck even though y'all don't even fucking listen to Beck. And I just, stop it. Did she write a song about you? What is it that you hate about this girl so damn much that you would rather defend injustice just for the sake of her not getting an accolade? She deserves Album of the Year. Fuck all that other shit. These committees are trash and they keep voting against her. Apparently her album crossed too many genres, and so they were trying to get back at her by only giving her 2 urban awards. That's fucked up. It's fucked up. Meanwhile, Drake won a damn award for a collaboration by himself. So obviously there's flaws in this voting system, but whatever. The Grammys do this shit every year. It's just getting very tiring, but we should be embracing our own shows. We say this shit every goddamn year. Embrace BET. Stop talking shit about it. Embrace Soul Train. Stop talking shit about it. Embrace NAACP. Watch the shit. And I do agree that Beyonce needs to show up more to these award shows and stay the whole time. I do agree with that criticism. She does need to stay and go to these and do all the stuff that she does. Don't pay it to the community that lifts you. So I do agree with that criticism. Please, Beyonce, if you're going to do this again, go to the places that support you and give you awards every fucking time. You need to show up again. Please do that, because this is some bullshit. The Grammys, it's so political and it's such trash. And Adele's performances have been weak as fuck lately, and that bothers me too. She is fucking up lyrics. She's not fucking hitting notes, and I know that whatever, it happens to the best of us. But the last few Adele performances I've saw have been weak as fuck, and she gets away with it. She gets away with it. Meanwhile, you have Beyonce who performed Pregnant, hitting all the notes, vocals are flawless. Like, y'all gotta stop this shit. But whatever, that's enough about the Grammys. I do know the day after the Grammys, or I don't know if it was the night before I went to sleep, but DJ Khaled released that track featuring Beyonce and Jay-Z, and that has been on repeat for me all damn day. It's so good. I love the sound of it. Probably won't get a video because Mama's pregnant. Great song, though. It's called Shining. It's on Tidal. I bought it on iTunes because I'm not getting another Tidal subscription. I just can't keep going back. I am sold on my Apple Music. So I just went ahead and paid for the single so I could have it. But it's a great song. It was a great moment to just ease the shade and the snubbing of Album of the Year for Lemonade. But better luck next time, Beyonce, even though I feel like we're kind of running out of moments as she gets older. But shit, Grammys, y'all piss me off. But whatever. So let's move on. I want to talk about Janet Jackson a little bit. So Janet Jackson, I love her to death. Love my Janet. But last week, Billboard put out this article of the 100 greatest award show performances. This motherfucking article had Kermit the Frog. It had Justin Bieber. It had Britney Spears. It had Chris Brown. It had Rihanna. It had Beyonce on there 4 times. It had Michael Jackson. It had Madonna. It had Amy Winehouse. It did not have one goddamn Janet Jackson performance. And that is the most blatant bullshit I've ever seen ever. Like, the media is literally trying to erase her legacy. And this is all on some fucking Super Bowl shit that happened in 2004. What? How? Janet Jackson's performances are fucking amazing, and they are the blueprint for how a lot of people perform today. Her and Michael ran that shit. You can't tell me that Britney Spears and Ciara didn't fucking come after Janet Jackson. Yes, even Beyonce. A lot of these artists who danced, Tinashe, who came after her, got their shit from her. What black woman was doing that in 1986? What black woman was doing that? No one. And so when you see this article of the 100 greatest award show performances and she's not on it, you know it's fucked up. You know it's blatant. You know there's an obvious erasure that's trying to happen. And I saw a couple comments from people on Facebook, well, whatever, maybe they just weren't memorable performances. I can't think of any. I said, you are a bold-faced fucking lie. I can name 4 right now. The American Music Awards 1987, the American Music Awards 1990, VMAs 1992, hell, the Grammys from 1987. 1997 when she was on the AMAs again doing fucking Together Again, the remix. The Super Bowl performance itself before the nip slip was fucking amazing. There is a blatant disrespect for Janet Jackson that's going on right now, and it's not cool. Like, it's not cool at all. Like, she is an icon. She is a fucking icon. When it comes to female dance, that is her fucking spot. Not Britney, not Ciara, not Beyonce, not Tinashe. When it comes on the female performers, that is Janet Jackson's fucking spot. Why are you guys trying to erase her goddamn legacy? Like, it's trash. It is absolute trash. I cannot believe we're in a world that would even attempt to do that. But once again, you know, it shows you the whole idea of how they treat black women in America. I mean, that Super Bowl experience, all of this for a goddamn nipple. All of this for a nipple. And Justin Timberlake got to go on and just be this media darling. He got to go on and be this huge star, unscathed. But Janet Jackson got trashed by her own people and white people. Like, it's ridiculous. And I need people to wake up and realize this is some bullshit. She belongs on that list. She belongs in the conversation. She belongs on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Her credit is deserved. And I know that, you know, not everyone is doing this. People still hold her in a high honor. But in general, media trying to act like she never existed and like she didn't sell millions and like she didn't transcend a lot of shit and that she didn't, you know, make an impact. And that is a bold-faced fucking lie. But whatever. That's all I have to say about that. Those are the hot topics. Let's just, you know, there's a hashtag and a whole movement happening. I think it's Janet's Legacy Matters. Yeah, it does. So let's stop playing. Like, let's not do this. It's fucked up. Like, it's really fucked up. So make sure you guys are adding her to her list and give her the credit she deserves, because she damn sure deserves it, because nobody did it like Janet. When it came to talking about social issues and feminism and homophobia, and no one did it like Janet. No one. Not even fucking Madonna. Like, Janet did it in a way that was genuine, and it wasn't trying to monetize on the struggles of people. She did it because she truly cared about things that were going on in the world. She dedicated whole albums to it. We can't fucking erase that. We cannot do that. But whatever. So, the main topic this week, I thought about this for a few reasons. I just want to talk about sexual attraction. You know, people say, you know, oh, you're my type, you're not my type, this is my type, this is what I'm into. I'm always interested on where those come from. You know, are they innate? You know, are they scientific? Like, does it come with anatomy? Is it pushed by social? Is it pushed by surroundings? What is it? I personally think it's all of the above, to be honest with you. I think a lot of things impact the types that we're into. And I also think if we stripped away all media, clothing, and even communication, would that have an impact on our type? For example, if we were just like animals in the wild, just naked, and we couldn't really properly talk to one another. There was no society. There was no media to influence us. Would our type be the same? Would it be the same? Just questions to ask. So I just jot down a few things I want to talk about when it comes to this. Like, for instance, media. I think that media influences our types. I remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, during DMX and Jay-Z and Ja Rule. I remember girls in the hood always talking about how they want a thug. Well, I want a thug. I want somebody like Ja Rule. I want to be hard. I want to wear big clothes. You can't be soft. I want this. I need this. And then even with Destiny's Child, when they came out with Soldier, it was just like, oh yeah, I need a soldier. If his status ain't hood, I can't mess with him. Monica had a song called Too Hood. I'm too hood for you. If you're this, I can't deal with you. And that's media influencing people into thinking that's what they want. Real talk. Think about how, black men or black people, we've always been into big butts. That's always been real. But think about when the Kardashians started moving up. Now all of a sudden white people and everybody else are into big butts. Everybody wants a big butt now. Everybody wants a big butt. Everybody's sexually attracted to a big butt. That's pushed by media. It's pushed by media. And since we're talking about media, let's talk about porn. I think about in the gay community how we're always talking about no fats, no femmes, no fats, no femmes. I can't help but see the coincidence in porn where there's no fats or femmes in porn. It's literally everyone had, especially back in the, what was that? What was the name of that porn company? You guys know what I'm talking about. The gay guys on here will know. It was in New York, and the porn was always filmed in that one room. Or it'll be two rooms. It was one room that had like a black bed. It was like cologne on the top. And it was like a black door. Oh, what was the name of that goddamn porn company? Anyway, and there was another room that was like red, and they fucked in those two rooms. Anyway, all of them wore fucking wave caps, big ass jeans, big ass t-shirts. They all pretend to be drug dealers. They all pretend to be these fake ass thugs. And I think that impacts the watcher. The viewer ends up wanting to recreate that when they look for people that they're into. I truly believe that. And it's a lot, that's a part of the reason why people are out here having dangerous ass sex. I tell people all the time, especially if you're having sex, you're trying to do some crazy shit. I tell people, okay, the position you're trying to do right now, that comes from porn. And that's only so the camera can see the dick going in. This is not something you should actually be doing in your private bedroom. And that shows you that people are impacted by porn. The shit they want to do in the bedroom, all that shit, it's impacted by porn, which is still very much media. So does that have to do anything with types? Does it? I think so. I think that influences it. I also think upbringing can also influence the types we're into. I have a friend who, his father was a big guy. And to this day, he's very, 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 very attracted to big guys. So I always think to myself, like, oh, I wonder if, is that how he sees men? He's a man. He's not big at all. But maybe he thought like, okay, my dad is this upstanding man. So this is what I'm attracted to. I'm going to go for these men who look like this. Okay, cool. I also have had men tell me that all of their like aunts and their mom and all their family members were heavyset. They all were heavyset. So naturally, their attraction was for heavyset women. And so you think to yourself, the types aren't always, I don't think they're so much innate. I think it's just a combination of what we're around and our surroundings. I remember being in high school. I went to a predominantly white high school. I know I've said this millions and millions of times at this point, but I did. And at that time, I was attracted to a lot of white guys. I loved the white guys who wore Dickies and Hurley and, the blonde hair, blue eyes. You get into that whole white gaze thing, Gaze. And I was very attracted to white guys. And okay, cool. But once I got to college, I went to a college that was very much Black and Latino. And my interests changed yet again. My interest has always been all over the place, though. I actually don't have a type when it comes to physicality. It's more for me, it comes in astrology, personality, chemistry. There's a certain balance that has to happen. Looks alone just don't get me. They do attract me now. But if you look at all of my past relationships, no one looked like the last person. They've been tall, short, dark, light-skinned, different races. They've all been different. So I can't say I have any particular type. It's a feeling for me. It really is. But there are certain personality traits that I do need for it to work. And that's where my type comes from. And who knows where the fuck that comes from. Whatever. But a lot of this stuff is built by surroundings. I even think about masculinity. Okay, so masculinity and even femininity, these are social constructs. This shit is not real. It's literally built on what people say it is. It's men saying what a man is, it's women saying what a woman is, or men saying what a woman is too, because men like to, floss their privilege and try to control other people. So there's that. But I always think about like gay men who are so concerned about men who are feminine. And I'm like, why do you care so much? Is it out of fear of being found out too? Because you feel like if people find out you're with this feminine guy that somehow you're gay or you're less than. Why are you so concerned about somebody else being feminine? People just like, I just like it. I just like a real man. I just like boys to be boys. But I tell people this, it's foolish to feel like that's an accomplishment because you're masculine, because all you're doing is fixing yourself to a social construct. It's not even a real fucking thing. All you're doing is following what people told you to follow. So why do you feel like you're winning because you're sticking to a script that somebody else gave you? And it's the same with femininity. So you meet the men who say, oh yeah, they gotta be, I need boys, I need men, I need them to be hard, I don't like that soft stuff. That's fine. But I've also met alpha males who love femininity. There was this guy who tried to convince me to cut my fucking beard off because I guess he just didn't like how hard it made me. And I was just like, in so many words, said, fuck you, nigga. Like, first of all, you're not my nigga. So you don't tell me what the fuck to do with my face. Second of all, this is what I want to do. I am a guy. Hair grows out of my face. I prefer to have it this way. If I want to shave it, I'll fucking shave it. But it's not because you want me to do it. And, it kind of went on to this whole thing about, liking twinks and shit. And I'm just like, but okay, that's so weird as fuck. I'm not one of them, though. I've never been one. So I think it's interesting like how some people, and that guy was like an alpha male. So for him, it was like, okay, well, I like to control. And I see myself controlling someone like a female. My power is exuded by the softer you are, the more I feel powerful. And I'm not with that either, but that's where that type comes from. Some people have types based on how they want to feel. They want that. Or some people want masculinity so they can feel more secure around that person. So it works in many different ways. And then you have the people who say that they're, sapiosexual, which means you love people for their minds, which I don't fully buy. Every time I see that damn meme on Instagram, I'm like, I don't buy this shit, but like anything else, I do respect people who say they are and, do your thing. It just sounds like bullshit though. So you're telling me you don't have any kind of physical attraction to people. Like you literally can talk to somebody on the phone and their brain and their conversation will turn you on. You meet them, they got one motherfucking eye, no teeth, and a big ass belly, hair growing on their armpits all the way down to their goddamn ankles, and you still gonna wanna fuck. I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. I don't buy it, but whatever. Get your life. I respect it. It's cool. Do your goddamn thing. It is what it is. And then you have the people who, I want to word this in a way that's almost PC, but I can't. You have people where they're not the most attractive, and you see them end up with somebody else who's not that attractive by society standards. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But there are some people who are ugly by all terms of the word, like real talk. Like there are people who are literally just, nah, you're ugly. You're ugly. It just is what it is. Like you're not physically appealing to anybody. But you have people like some people who will be, it's kind of like I'll get what I can take. Or I'll take what I can get, rather. And you'll see them do it. And you think to yourself, were you really attracted to them? Or are you doing it out of the sake of you feel it's necessity? Which is also a pressure in this world, too. We're pressured to have companions. We're pressured to be in relationships. And a lot of people settle for less than what they probably deserve for the sake of just saying that they're in a relationship. So that happens, too. So those are just things that I was thinking about when it comes to attraction. Like, where do our types come from? Because people are so sold on types. Or is it like a similarity thing too? Like, for instance, like in the gay community, because that's what I have to speak on, because that's what I'm familiar with, we have a huge issue with size. I mean, with weight, you know, the whole no fats, no femmes thing. And it doesn't take much to be overweight to a lot of gay men. You know, it's like if you don't have a six pack, you're all of a sudden fat. And it's the most frustrating thing ever if you let it be that way. But I've met a lot of overweight men who embrace other overweight men. Like, they only will date overweight men. So I always think to myself, like, that's really, really dope. Like, that, you know, it's like a whole movement for like, no, thick is in, fat is in, this is who I am, I still deserve to be loved. Everyone deserves to be loved. So there's that thing too. And you think to yourself, but then I also think on the flip side, the cynical part of me says, now, are you really into this other person that's like you because you're like really into them, or are you doing it out of spite just to have an argument that, you know, fat is in? And I say that from an opposites attract kind of thing. Like with me, a lot of times I am into opposites. A lot of times it doesn't work in my favor, but there are times where it's like I will see someone who's the opposite of me. They'll be taller or they'll be darker than I am, and I'll be totally into it, you know? It's the opposite thing. So when you see somebody who dates someone who's literally just like them, it's always interesting to me. But that's me projecting my shit onto them. So I can't say that for sure. But it's just something to think about. Just something to think about. So question yourself. Ask yourself, where does my type come from? Like, why am I into big asses? Why am I into dark skin? Why am I into light skin? Why am I into skinny boys? Why am I into twinks? Why am I only into this? Why am I into this? Why does this turn me on? Try to trace back to like growing up and what people told you. Did someone tell you that something should be attractive to you that wasn't at first, and then you ended up moving towards it because society told you it should be attractive? Because that happens often too. This is what you should like. You shouldn't like that. You should like this. There are a lot of people out there who aren't dating the type that they even want to date because they're afraid of what society will think. Do you know how many thin men or thin people will privately like mess with some like a thick chick or a thick guy in private, but they won't go out in public with them because they're worried about what society will think? Like, that's trash. Like, people are way too controlled by society in general. Like, in general, go for what you fucking like. Oh my God. But think about it. Think about the things that you're into and ask yourself why you're into them. Figure it out. I would love to hear more about this and your findings because I think it's an interesting topic. So please at me on Twitter, The World of Kevin, or hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know your thoughts. Where does your type come from? Where did you get it from? Like, try to think honestly, write about it, put in your journal, think about high school, think about the guys that you tried to get that you couldn't get, or the girls you tried to get that you couldn't get. Does that have to do with who you're into now, what you go for now? Is it like a thrill of the chase thing? Or was it because of your upbringing? Was it because all the women or men you've seen looked a certain way and that's what you're into? But I really do feel like this is controlled by what we experience. I really do. Now, granted, there may be some things that are innate, like, you know, just chemistry and smells. Sometimes that's, you know, sometimes we can just be drawn to that, or maybe the way someone's voice sounds, or there's other things that can certainly attract us to people. But when it comes to a physical, sexual type attraction, where does yours come from? Let me know. And that is this week's show. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys so much. Remember to subscribe, rate, share, comment, do all that good stuff. Visit KevinDwayne.com for more. And I will talk to you next week. Peace out, y'all. Love ya.